Hello everybody, it's Arielle again and
Thomas.
cute. So I know you just learned your side star entrance with the tilt. We're gonna spice it up a little bit. We're gonna go in from bird. So this does complicate things ever so slightly more for the flyers. But with a little base help and of course, nice communication, both nonverbal and verbal, we can safely execute this. So the one thing I want to get started on is mainly a focus on the flyers. Flyers, when we're going in from our bird, the one thing I want you to keep in mind is our center of gravity is pushing through our hips. We don't want to be too top heavy, which can come from lifting our legs too much, and we definitely don't want to be too heavy on the back of our legs. We kind of want an even balance. It's almost like we're spreading our entire body to each corner that we possibly can. Now, the biggest thing that we want to keep in mind before we get onto a base's feet is our rotation. So when we're in our bird, imagine my other leg is in a bird. As we start to rotate and our bottom leg is driving down to our base, this top leg, we're thinking about opening these hips ever so slightly. Thomas has a really nice comparison to get the feeling of what a hip opening feels like as far as those little roundhouse kicks that Kung Fu flicks people do. Don't go crazy with it though. But just a nice gentle thought, even just thinking about it, should help you think, oh, open my hips. We want to return back to our toaster. Okay, we're going from bird to toaster, two completely different things, but we really want to keep that in mind as we're shifting over. So let's take it over to the feet so it makes a little bit more sense. Thomas is going to assume position on the ground. We're going to hop into our bird. Readjust what you need. Once again, flyers. We're in our bird. We're going to grab hands with our base. The first thing I want to make sure that everybody has is that you can do 3 points of contact. So I'm letting him know, let's make sure we can remove this foot. Lovely. With that being said, notice flyers, I'm keeping my hip up because that gives the base a chance to turn his foot out, the outside towards my glutes. With that, you'll feel the base bend the same arm that's the leg is bent. And with that, flyers, I'm going to start by one step, just putting my foot towards his glute. The next thing I'm gonna do, I can feel Thomas giving me a nice toe here, telling me, hey, put your hips up. I'm gonna find a toaster. I'm gonna go here. The next thing Thomas does is place my hands on the inside of his leg. Quite literally, we work that together nice and slow, one step at a time. Nothing needs to be done simultaneously. Everything can be done one step at a time. To come down, I'm gonna take my top hand, present it with Thomas. We're gonna connect hands. I'm slowly gonna take this hand from his leg, drop my hips, return to the bird, and we are gently going to come down. Now, a lot of common mistakes is we think that we're supposed to be completely parallel with our base. Not the case. We can actually be the flyer's head can actually be facing this way. It can actually be perpendicular. Ideally, try your hardest not to keep turning. That's when it gets a little difficult. And bases, what can help with that? Well, your rotation of your foot. You have a lot of control here. So you can try to stay here and control your flyer, but if she starts to move a little bit, maybe millimeters, slightly turn your foot to try to stop that rotation. Flyers, I know it seems like you want to help. Helping actually kind of makes it worse. Hold your shape. Find that toaster, be that piece of toast, and be the best toast you can possibly be, and don't change for anything. Now, quick notes on spotting. Doesn't change much from the half moon, but our spotter is going to assume position to, if you're turning or opening up to the right, this way, you want your flyer or your spotter to always be behind you, never in front of you. So if I'm in bird here, my spotter is at my hips. As we start to migrate and move over to our toaster, my spotter stays at my hips, exactly. So that if I'm losing it, my spot stays with me. The biggest thing I want people to do is just because you're messing up or not holding your shape, doesn't mean it's wrong. Spotters really be extremely engageful in this and try to help them figure out where the shape is supposed to be. We want to learn the pathway, Because if we don't understand the pathway, we're just always constantly lost trying to find where we're supposed to be. But a spotter can really help guide that road and tell you where to be. So even if you're struggling to get into it, really ask for a nice, strong hands-on spot to figure out where you need to be, of course, for the base and the flyer, so that way you continually progress to go in the right direction and not just anywho. But outside of that, that's your bird to side star. Good luck.
Good luck.